Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that. See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. Rowpaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Canned Cocktails is perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Now, here's four-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
All right, we're going to make some history here. We're going to simulcast our segment on KTIK coming up in just a couple of seconds. This will actually allow us to test the mics. I believe JP can hear us in the back. Hopefully, JP, if you got me. We're going to get Johnny and Prater to test the mics here while we're live here. Then we'll know if they're working for the segment after the debacle that was yesterday's segment. So I think we're good, but we're going to be on Bronco Nation News on the social media channels. I'm going to do a segment with Johnny and Prater here on KTIK Idaho Sports Talk. And then Jordan Kaye is going to join me for a couple more minutes after that to wrap up day 2 of Mountain West Media Days here. Hopefully you're listening 3 to 6 over there with Johnny and Prater. They got Andy Avalos coming up. Is that 5 o'clock, I believe, guys, for Andy Avalos. They've got, just had the Jeremiah Dickey interview, so they're doing great things. Johnny, can you come over here and test the mics for us real quick? We are live on the social media channels, Bronco Nation News, bronconationnews.com. Johnny's going to help us to test the mics. Yep, you're right there, Johnny. You can test the microphone real quick. We'll make sure we're good, and we'll make sure JP can hear us. Do we have you, man?
All right, yeah. Good stuff, BJ. Day 2, Mountain West Media Days. The coaches day for me.
JP, we good on Johnny? Okay,
JP,
we're 2 for 2.
Much more exciting on Coaches Day than Players Day for me. I think the coaches are more of the stars of their programs than the players are. Certainly there are years, BJ, where you have that star player. I mean, if Josh Allen's walking around here, that's pretty cool, you know. But for the most part, you don't get that in the Mountain West to that level. But certainly a lot of coaches that were fun to talk to
today. All right, here comes Mike Prater. We'll test his mic real quick while we're on the commercial break for KTIK. JP, can you hear Mike Prater?
Test. Mike Prater right here.
All right, we're 3 for 3. Prater, everybody can hear each other?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to, JP, I will add you to the stream here, and we'll take a short break. And then when the segment starts on KTIK, we'll be good to go.
Excellent. How are your new subscribers going?
True Idaho whitewater rafting experience with the most experienced guides on the river. From novices to seasoned veterans, share the passion and book your trip today. Get started at bearvalleyrafting.com or call 793-2272. That's 793-2272.
Real people are getting real and lasting pain relief at QC Kinetics.
Who would have thought that I would be in better shape now than after I got out of the Marines at 22? It's great to be active again.
I've played 36 holes multiple days in a row without pain. Everything's great.
Are you tired of living with chronic joint pain? QC Kinetics uses cutting-edge regenerative medicine to restore and repair damaged tissue, natural healing agents from your own body, so your body can heal itself the way it was designed, with no pain pills, no steroids, no drugs, and no downtime.
It was super successful, and I recommend everyone seek out QC Kinetics as an alternative to surgery.
Thanks to QC Kinetics, quality of life is just a lot better.
Definitely changed my life.
Call now to see if regenerative medicine could be the answer you've been looking for. The local medical professionals at QC Kinetics have proven protocols that can give you lasting relief now, and the consultation is free.
Call QC Kinetics, 208-425-2747. That's 208-425-2747. 208-425-2747.
I just discovered the best back-to-school hack, shopping at Kohl's. With the extra 15% off right now, I found new school style for old school prices, like tees for under $7 that'll be so perfect for both recess and weekend fun. Then I picked up a few statement pieces, including a cool backpack that my son is so excited about. And up next, the best school year yet. All thanks to Kohl's. Select styles. Offers end July 23rd. Some exclusions apply. See store or kohls.com for details.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year, which means... Wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait! Unlimited first-year cash back match. Only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
There's 3 guarantees in life: death, taxes, and us. The Treasure Valley's original sports station. Sports Radio 95.3 FM and 1350 AM. The Ticket.
All right, what's going on? Welcome back. Prater in the ball game, hour number 2. Moving along strong. Appreciated Jeremiah Dickey's time. Andy Avalos, Prater, in about 45 minutes. Going to ask him some good questions there. Can't wait for Coach.
Yeah, we're going to break it all down. We're going to talk some football. We're going to do a little recap after the second day. It's winding up. I see some people winding down here, but we got all kinds of opinions. And Andy Avalos exclusive interview at 5 o'clock, so looking forward to that.
We are simulcasting right now on Bronco Nation News as well, so on all those forms of social media, those channels, you can see the pictures. BJ's got a terrific set built here at Circa Resort and Casino. BJ, welcome. Our BNN report. I'm doing this every single day with our partnership.
Well, we're off to a better start than our simulcast yesterday.
Oh,
so
my
it sounds
gosh,
like we're on and you guys can hear me. And no, it's going great. We're trying history here, and it's a lot of fun, man. I really appreciate both of you guys. And the 3 days down here has been a lot of fun, and we're going to finish strong here with day 2.
What's your overall thought, BJ, on the coaches in this league, getting to talk to, know some, and maybe some are new, some have been here a while, just Mountain West coachings?
I was just talking to this with Bob. I don't know if you guys agree, but it seems like a friendlier group than I can remember. I think a lot of these coaches are enjoying talking to them, even on the commercial break, Johnny. We were joking around with Barry Odom after the segment. The other coaches have been great to talk to. So I don't know about you, Mike, but thinking about the coaches in this league, I mean, I haven't had a conversation down there yet. Really enjoyed 15 minutes with Troy Calhoun that I had. So I really like this group of coaches. And I think you have an interesting mix of some veteran coaches, some younger, newer coaches, some guys that have already been at the Power 5 and are back. I mean, there's a lower level having success like Craig Bowles. So I think there's a lot of different levels and experience of coaches here.
All 3 of us spent a lot of time in a hotel banquet room today where they had the media scrum, 6 or 7 or 8 tables, whatever it is, coaches behind the podium, and we all kind of go scrum to scrum. I'm still waiting for one of the coaches to yell at a reporter for a dumb question. Haven't seen it, so maybe everybody is getting along these days.
Johnny hasn't asked too many questions yet, so
Ted Tedford, he did ask Johnny for clarification on one question. It was a good question. He did ask for a little clarification. Johnny gave it to him, and he got a hell of an answer.
What was the question?
Yeah. I asked him how he thought Kirby Moore was going to do in the SEC, but the way I phrased it,
you said, "What? How is he going to do?" Yeah. I think you said,
"How's he doing?
How is he doing?" Yeah.
And Tedford's like, he looks at me, he's like, "How the hell do I know how Kirby Moore is doing? They haven't started the season yet," something like that.
I think there's a requirement at any media days. He has to get in a Kirby Moore or a Kellen Moore question somehow. So, but
he got a great answer eventually. I mean, eventually, Tedford never stopped talking about Kirby Moore.
It was kind of cool. Let's talk about coaches here. This edition of the BNN report. Let's go 3 categories, okay?
Yeah.
Who's the first coach of this group here in the Mountain West, starting today? Which coach is going to be the first to get fired. Jay Norvell's right behind us. So
he might be on my list.
Oh, that is pretty funny. We have the second camera here. We can turn around and name.
Who is the first coach that's going to get sacked?
You know what? I'm going to.
Okay.
Oh, he's got it. Please. This is great. This is great. We have to get the.
Which coach, I need to get, as of right here, right now?
He's literally 5
This is supposed to be a serious segment.
and we've got video for this. This is so great. I'm so excited about this. I'll go first. I'll go first since I don't have him on the list.
First question.
I've got Danny Gonzalez, and I know they're 7-24.
Yep.
Part of me didn't want to put him on this list because I don't think the expectations are very high at New Mexico. They're not exactly expecting much. So I think he's going to get a little. But at some point, you got to do something there. 7-24. They only averaged 13 points a game last year. There's just not much momentum, it seems like, in that program. So I know the expectations aren't high, but I don't see if they don't really turn it around how Danny Gonzalez isn't gone pretty soon.
I would agree with your expectations. I put him on my list, and is it my turn? Should I start talking really low?
I can go. Let me go because maybe he'll be gone right. By the time Prater gets up. Danny Gonzalez to me is the easy choice here for who's going to be the first to get the boot. You see right there? Yeah, there. He's in the green. That's Jay Norvell right there behind us.
Hurry up, Bob.
I don't want to double up here. So I'm going to say, and I know it's only year 2, and this program, if you're talking about a program that doesn't have money to buy anybody out, it's Nevada, all right? Nevada has no scratch, but I don't see it getting off the ground with Ken Wilson. I'm going with Ken Wilson down in Reno. I know he's been there in the past as an assistant. I don't think he's an alum, but if he is, I don't think that matters either. I have Nevada guys really struggling this year. And guys, not even really as a homer, but I think my Vandals might go to Reno and beat them. I really do.
We're gonna hold you to that.
Yeah. I will predict that. I think it might be a 1-11, 2-10 for Ken Wilson, and then maybe going into next year or whatever. They have standards in Reno. They like being good. Nevada has been good. No one's even listening to me anymore because they're paying attention to what's going on.
This is the best video segment in history.
But yeah, I got first coach that's here right now that's going to be fired, Ken Wilson in Nevada. Okay, Prater, why do you have the guy behind?
Well, the Colorado State SID just showed up, and now he's hanging out with the coach. You can see him. There's two guys in the green shirt. So the answer to my question is Jay Norvell. I should shout it. Jay Norvell, I mean, first of all, we know that Colorado State, the standard there is very, very high. We know for a fact they have double the budget of everybody else in the Mountain West, including the football department. Joe Parker, the athletic director there, is very, very, very aggressive, and he has high standards. I also voted them number 3 in my preseason media poll because I like their quarterback and I like their wide receiver. But for 40 years, Colorado State has been letting me down because they can never match the hype of the reality of their hype. So Jay Norvell was 3-9 last year. I don't like the transfer portal culture that he's created there in Colorado. He's not going to get fired after this year, but I think in year 3, when he's 9-30 or whatever the number will be at that point, Jay Norvell will be the first Mountain West football coach fired.
Okay, I'm not going to say anything. He's talking to Beeler right now. It'll be interesting to see what happens in Fort Collins. Okay, that's question 1. BNN report, Prater on the ball game, Bronco Nation news. Second one is, of the coaches here right now, who's going to be here the longest? Okay, 8-9 media days from here, years down the road, they're still here. Now, Troy Calhoun is going into what, year 17? He doesn't count. It's starting today.
Unless you think he's going to be here for another 17 years.
BJ, start us off again. Which coach of the Mountain West right now is going to be at their current place the longest starting today?
I actually think it's Andy Avalos. I think Andy Avalos is primed to be at Boise State for a long, long time. I think he's going to get this thing going here, and you look at the expectations and where he's at and the money that he makes and living in Boise, Idaho, and I saw him at the Luke Combs concert. He's enjoying being out in downtown, doing some fun things now, and I think he's going to get this team going here. So you look at the other guys on that list. There's some older coaches that I don't think are going to coach for a lot of years, some younger guys that we're going to talk about that maybe end up in the Power 5. But in terms of a guy that's going to stay and have success and have a chance to be there a long time, I don't think it would shock me that much if I look up in a decade and Andy Avalos is still at Boise State.
I'll be quick on this one. I'm going to agree with BJ on this one. I don't want to go elsewhere. I think Andy Avalos loves being a Bronco. We're going to ask him about that in about a half hour on Prater and the ball game, but I'm just going to speed this up as well. I'm going to say it's Andy Avalos. He'll be at Boise State for a good 8-9 more years.
I had Andy Avalos on my list, but I also had two others.
Okay.
So I crossed Andy off the list as soon as you guys mentioned him. I'm going to eliminate Brady Hoke. I mean, he's 64 years old. I think he's lured by the potential of San Diego State. So I think he's going to be there for a long time, but I'm going to go with Brent Brennan. Brent Brennan is going to be moderately successful at San Jose State for the next 15 years. He's going to win 8 games, 7 a game, 9 every now and then, win a championship once every 6 years. He had a chance to leave last year when he was the hottest. I think that's going to be the hottest he'll ever be as a coach, because I don't really see him taking this program to an elite level. But I think he's comfortable there. He loves it there. The athletic department has sacrificed and invested in enough to keep him satisfied and happy. I see Brent Brennan at San Jose State for a long, long time.
Last one, right? Or is it? Did I go yet? Yeah, no, I went. Prater went. Last one. This is, if any coach here is going to get that Power 5 opportunity and take it, let's say, which coach of the 12 in the Mountain West this season will be the first that we will see on a Power 5 sideline?
First of all, I'm not sure it happens. I don't have a slam dunk of any of these 12 coaches that I think is, a guy that's on that track. I think there's 2 or 3 candidates. I think Brent Brennan is a candidate, but I thought that last year or the year before may have been the time for him to cash in, and he didn't do it. And the fact that he stayed makes me think, what Prater's saying, and some of these, maybe he's going to be here a while, but I think Brent Brennan's on there. I think Blake Anderson, potentially. We saw what he did a couple years ago, and getting them going. They really struggled last year, but if Blake Anderson has a 1 or 2 hot years, he's a younger coach that has a little bit of a track record. I was actually going to say Jay Norvell would at least be on my maybe I should have gone first and buttered him up a little bit, but just because he's been a coordinator at some Power 5 schools, he's a name guy, and if he could have 1 or 2 decent years there, maybe he could parlay it. But I don't really see anybody that's all that likely. I guess you could throw Avalos in the possible group at some point, but I would say in the next 5 years, I'm not really sure any of these guys do.
Okay. Brent Brennan was the first guy that I circled. I thought, okay, if San Jose State goes to another Pac-12 Mountain West championship game, heck, say they win it. All of a sudden, even if they go there, even if they can come and stay in the upper echelon of this league, I can see Brent Brennan doing that. I also mentioned, Troy Calhoun. If he ever does want to leave, maybe the only opportunity he would leave for would be some type of lower level Power 5 program, like a Vanderbilt, okay? Like a program that has a Northwestern with an opening. So I'm going to stick with an honorable mention to Brennan, but I'm going to go Troy Calhoun. I'm going to throw it out there. I know he might be the oldest coach here, but he's been at Air Force forever. If he ever wants that opportunity to try it out and see the Power 5 and go to a program like a Vanderbilt, I could see him doing that. Prater, who's the first in this group to take the Power 5 step?
I haven't worked this hard on a segment in a long time in terms of just racking my brain. And I think the intuition of what you guys both said, I'm sticking with it. I got nobody. I don't think anybody on this list is going to be a Power 5 coach in the next 5 to 10 years, if forever. The Mountain West has done a decent job of putting coaches into the Power 5. Boise State's done a phenomenal job of advancing coaches into the Power 5. Maybe all 3 of the names that you guys threw out there are all good names with potential, but I don't see it. I don't see San Jose State winning championships. I think Andy Avalos, his love for Boise State and trying to get this back to an elite level, maybe if he gets into the CFP one year and wins a game, maybe that catapults him. Right now, I don't see a Power 5 candidate, and I racked my brain really hard to try to find one. I'm not trying to be Prater here. I really, truly believe that all these coaches, none of them are going to get a Power 5 job. And that's not really an indictment. Sometimes it's just about the fit and the timing.
Yeah, what do you guys think? Text us, 208-424-9300. We're going to get going here off this set, head back to our set for our radio audience. We'll be back in a second. Streaming audience here at BNN. Stay right here. BJ, we'll keep this going. Gatlin Bear, some big news for the highest recruit in Idaho high school football history. Some news around Gatlin. JP has that. BJ, well done. Prater in the ball game. Idaho Sports Talk. KTIK, the ticket.
Idaho Sports Talk with Prater in the ball.
All right, we appreciate Johnny and Prater for jumping on. Prater, good job as always, man. Thank you.
Thank you, bud.
There he is, Mike Prater. You can read his column on Andy Avalos coming tomorrow to Bronco Nation News. Our stream as we continue here on the social media channels of Bronco Nation News. Jordan Kaye going to join us in just a second. So we will get Jordan Kaye in here. We'll hear from Derek Stevens and Circa, and we'll be back in 30 seconds. Get your Boise State questions in now.
The biggest pro football contests in Vegas are back and bigger than ever with $14 million in guaranteed prizes only at Circa Sports. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. 2 ways to win and no rate. Play Circa Million, where you make 5 picks against the spread each week with 100% payback. Or join Circa Survivor, where you select one team each week straight up. Last the longest to win it all. $14 million in guaranteed prizes. Visit circasports.com for details.
All right, we're back. Our continuing live coverage, Circa Resort and Casino Mountain West Media Days. We pulled it off. We had the live stream in the middle of a radio segment, and then we came back, and now you can continue listening to KTIK if you'd like in their show. And we're here to talk a little more as we wrap up day 2. I had a chance to talk to Troy Calhoun. Jeff Tedford will play some of those interviews on tomorrow's show with Johnny. Johnny and I will be in the sports book tomorrow to broadcast the show, Jordan.
I am very jealous.
You'll be back in Boise by tomorrow. So
sleeping.
I'm going to let you sleep in tomorrow. But day 2, it is 4:36 back in Boise. We're wrapping up. They're actually already taking down a lot of the signage and banners and things. So what's your take about what went on today?
No, I thought it was awesome. There was a lot of interesting recruiting stuff. I think that's always the most fascinating thing here is that's what coaches bond over. They love football, of course, but man, they love talking about recruiting, what's wrong with recruiting, what's good with recruiting, what was better about recruiting in the old days. And right now, in this era of the transfer portal, recruiting has just gotten nuts. And there are coaches working 80-hour weeks, 100-hour weeks, trying to host transfer portal kids on official visits and unofficial visits and high school kids on official visits. And it just doesn't seem like they can breathe. And Andy Avalos is a big proponent of I've got to give my guys time off so they can come back for the season and actually be human beings and see their family. And so I think the burnout is a lot more prevalent than people want to admit. And so, there were a lot of coaches today when I kind of asked about that, sighed and we're ready to kind of spill about, how tough it's been.
Speaking of coaches, what did you think of that last segment right there? We were
saw that.
predicting the first Mountain West coach to get fired, and Mike Prater's guess, Jay Norvell, was about 7 feet away.
I think he was, hopefully Bob was, drowning out your guys' noise.
That was pretty funny. We talked to Jeff Tedford about Talon Green.
Yeah.
Talked to some other coaches. What else? Any other nuggets or things that stuck out from today?
I think, there are a lot of, I don't know. I think these coaches sing each other's praises a lot. And sometimes this media day can be a little tricky to figure out who's actually good and who's actually not. But I thought there were a lot of honesty about, a lot of teams needing time to figure things out. Blake Anderson was super candid of he has no idea if Utah State's going to be any good this year. It's going to take time. I think Jay Norvell basically said the same thing. And there's not a lot of coaches that share the enthusiasm of Andy Avalos or even Jeff Tedford about how excited they are for this season.
There goes Jay Norvell giving us the wave right now. He must not have heard the segment.
I think when he gets to the bottom of the stairs, he's going to be showing you a different finger.
Well, probably so, because apparently Jay Norvell is not our biggest fan.
No,
anyway.
Jay Norvell does not like Bronco Nation news.
Hey, man, they brought a punter to Mountain West Media Days.
I actually heard he was the best interview too. So I'm.
You never went out. You didn't go over and get the selfie or talk to him.
Talked to him for a second.
Yeah, they are taking stuff down. They're not messing around here. Jeff Tedford and his social media team at Fresno State. They were getting ready to head out. Troy, appreciate it. Troy Calhoun heading out as well. These coaches are all heading for the airport, man. There's going to be a beeline to kind of after the Super Bowl, all the private jets that are heading out. This is all these guys are taking the.
I thought Andy and everyone at Boise State was smart. I think they hopped on the 3 p.m. 3:30 Southwest flight.
There's another one tonight at 9:30 that some of us are on, and there was apparently an earlier one or maybe even a different airline earlier today that they were able to jump on and get back faster. So we may be the last ones here.
I think we're going to be
doing the show here, but I had you help me here, so when we're done, then you can help me clean some of this crap up before you go back. But people are saying that was hilarious. Where do we think Wyoming will fit in the mix? What are your thoughts on Wyoming this year? Someone's wondering.
I think they're slotted probably right around where they're going to be. I think they were finished 6th in the Mountain West media polls, and that's probably where they're going to finish. I think they have a really good front that is going to, have them easily win 4 to 5 games just by itself. And then what Andrew Peasley, the quarterback, does is going to determine whether they win 6 games or whether they win 8 or 9 and have an incredible season.
We got some news and notes from Andy Avalos today. Let's talk about those in just a second. But first, reminding you we are broadcasting from the Cutwater Spirits mobile studios. More than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails. Pick one up at your local gas station or grocery store. Rowpaint.com, our title sponsor. Home of the one-day install. It's 5 times stronger than epoxy. That concrete coating, highly recommended for that stain, ugly-looking stained piece of concrete you got in your basement or your back patio. Get more information, roepaint.com. You're welcome here. Lithia Ford of Boise, reminding you there's never a better time to head into lithiafordboise.com, purchase that new vehicle. Do what the Rains family did. You'll be happy with your purchase. Head on in lithiafordboise.com to view that full inventory of vehicles. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. The best in mobile e-branch online banking. We highly recommend our friends over at Idaho Central Credit Union. Check them out, ICCU.com. Transportation Compliance Service, transcomservice.com. You need a job? How about getting into the trucking industry? They can help you every step of the way. Check them out, transcomservice.com. Going to get to our news and notes from Andy Avalos in just a second. But first, Boise Dentistry Co. BoiseDentistryCo.com. 5 locations across the Treasure Valley. Check them out. BoiseDentistryCo.com. They make it a family enjoyable experience and a fun experience for the whole family at BoiseDentistryCo.com. You need business insurance? Check out United Commercial Insurance, 229-8222. United at CommercialInsurance.com can write business policy insurance in 44 states around the country. Check them out at UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. And Ridley's Family Markets, shopridleys.com. They got locations across the Treasure Valley, 13 in the state of Idaho. And download their new app on their smartphone, Ridley's Family Markets, shopridleys.com to get more information. BlueandOrangeStore.com, free shipping, any order over $40. Check them out, the BlueandOrangeStore.com. And I apologize for John Mallory yelling from nearby if you can't hear me. But we're going to talk Andy Avalos in just a second. But the BlueandOrangeStore.com reminds you, free shipping, any order over $40, free shipping, any order over $40. And by the way, I was doing the read for Matt Bauscher when Andy Avalos sat down for his live interview the other day, or earlier today, and his first comment was how good-looking Matt Bauscher looks in the picture here. So
wow,
he was, he thought that he was looked very nice in the picture. So if that's not a reason, the endorsement of Andy Avalos to go buy a house from Matt Bauscher, then I don't know what else you need.
Did Andy Avalos buy a house from Matt Bauscher?
I would assume. I don't know. Bauscher Real Estate. They're probably neighbors. They probably live in the same type of house. So I don't know. But BauscherRealEstate.com. Check them out, and we highly recommend the folks at Bauscher Real Estate. They're helping us out with the Canada trip, which we're going to be telling you more about as well. So we're here for a couple more minutes. We got Jordan Kaye, Bronco Nation News. We got myself, BJ Rains. We appreciate everybody for checking us out. We're taking your comments, your questions as we kind of wrap up. Glenn is watching again from Thailand. So we think I'd like to know the connection, Glenn. Are you just, a Boise State fan? Did you move over from Idaho? Do you just live over there in Bangkok or what? But Bangkok, Thailand, we certainly appreciate you checking in. That's awesome. So we did talk to Andy Avalos today. We got some news and notes. No position changes, it sounds like, for the most part. He's going to go over the roster, it sounds like. He did tell me after you guys left that both Markel Reed and Austin Bolt both are ready to go to start fall practice. Austin Bolt, kind of a forgotten man by a lot of people, but he's expected to be out there for fall practice, and he's excited about Bolt and Markel Reed, and I have some video of that I'll post. Maybe we'll talk about it on tomorrow's show. That's good news. One nugget that did stick out to me, Cade Beresford is going to remain at right tackle, and then Mason Randolph is also going to start at center, or at least start playing center, not necessarily the starter, but he'll start fall in the mix at center. And then that opens up Cage Casey and some other guys at left tackle.
Yeah, I think he said Ethan Card, who's like the 6'8" Texas Tech transferred, will compete with Cage Casey.
And then you got the two guards, Dooley and Curran. So what do you make of that line as it looks, and what do you make of them deciding to keep Beresford at right tackle?
I think it's fine. I mean, I've heard offensive line coaches in the past talk about guys sometimes have to rework their brain when they're going from the right side to the left or vice versa. It's the muscle memory, but you're having to switch it all in your head, and it can really trip guys up. And so if Cage Casey's been working at left tackle for the past 2 years, and Cade Beresford's been working at right tackle for the past year, it's why not just keep him there? And, the way Taylor Green runs, you need protection on on both sides. And I think offensive line, I don't know if it was necessarily a concern, but it was a little bit of a question mark. And now that we're starting to see it all come into shape, I think it's pretty secure. I mean, the two guards might be two of the better guards in the entire conference. I feel really confident with Mason Randolph at center. He hasn't shown much at that position, but I thought he was one of the better guards last season. And then to keep Beresford at his original spot, really the only question mark is left tackle, which is a big one, but it could have been a lot worse. How are you feeling about it?
I feel really good. I mean, I saw somebody on Twitter say on paper it's the best offensive line in some time.
Yeah,
and I probably would agree with that. Again, I think Curran and Dooley are going to be two of the best guards in the conference. I mean, those guys to be multi-year starters. I mean, you got to keep Ben Dooley healthy.
Yeah,
as he said. I mean, he's missed a lot of games last year. But if Dooley and Curran are both healthy, those are two quality, solid offensive linemen. And then Cade Beresford was pretty impressive at right tackle. So. I think Randolph at center. I mean, he played, mostly guard, right? Some center last year.
Yeah, but I mean, he started 6 or 7 games.
Yeah, he has the experience. No doubt. And then was with, I think, a freshman All-American by some publication, you know, for how he played. So, I think you got to feel pretty good about that as well. So, I think that you feel really good. And again, we know how it works. Like these 5 will not start whichever 5 they pick. Somebody will get hurt. Somebody will have to move around. Like it just happens. The offensive line does not stay intact. But it just on paper, that 5 looks pretty good. What do you think about the battle at left tackle? How do you think that's going to all shake out?
I think Casey ultimately wins it. I've heard Tim Keene rave about this guy for the last year about how he is going to be the left tackle in waiting in so to speak, after John Ojukwu. Card's interesting though. I mean, he's just so big. He has Big 12 experience. He started games at Texas Tech. And so maybe he can come in and really kind of blow Tim Keene's brain a little bit and what he can do with that size. And maybe he wins the job. But that's going to be interesting to watch for the first couple of weeks of fall camp and how they split the reps too.
Anything else? I know Andy talked a lot about the transfer portal stuff that you were mentioning and roster construction and things like that. But anything else from the 30 minutes or so we got with Andy stick out to you?
I think the one thing that I really never gave thought to and was hopefully going to write about today is the transfer stuff. I think was the most interesting. He brought in 9 guys that I really don't think many of them are going to play. I mean, we talked about Card maybe having a chance to start. We talked about Johnny. Wow, it's just in the background.
He knows we're live.
I know.
He's on a commercial break. He literally can't even go 2 minutes without leaving us alone. It's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Tension whore.
He can't go 2 minutes. He knows we're on the air, and there. You see, he just walked by and said, "Are you guys on?"
Wow.
Yeah, he was just on.
That's all.
Where were we talking? The transfers.
Oh, yes.
The transfers.
There might be some other guys that start. Tyler Wegas, maybe Howard Brown, maybe. But Andy Avalos just brought these guys in because the more dudes he has in the trenches, the more he's able to practice 11 on 11. You can have 2 11 on 11s going at the same time if you have the bodies, and what that's going to be able to do for building the depth and then even figuring out who the backups are. I mean, for the backup quarterback job, all of a sudden the reps maybe double, and you can really figure out who's better between Maddox Matson and CJ Tiller, and to be able to have extra time to evaluate, I think is going to be huge.
And he told us, there goes Brady Hoke heading out, San Diego State contingent. We appreciate them. By the way, Glenn graduated from BSU and is traveling in Southeast Asia.
Wow.
So,
all right.
Graduated from Boise State from Southeast Asia. So appreciate you, Glenn. There goes Brady Hoke. But I mean, I know what he's saying, because he was saying 2 years ago when he got here, they didn't even have enough guys to have a
they had
full
to play
practice.
7 on
They played
7.
7 on 7 in some of their practices. I didn't realize the depth was. I didn't realize it was that bad, I guess.
Yeah.
But he talked about in practice a lot of times, if you don't have enough practice guys or enough depth, you can't you don't. If you're not 2 or 3 deep on the line, then that means you can't be 2 or 3 deep at quarterback. They're not going to get the reps.
Yeah, it's like the trickle down effect.
Yeah.
So
we should mention Gatlin Bear. We should talk about that. Somebody here was asking on a scale of 1 to 10, what is Boise State's chances for landing Gatlin Bear? But if anyone hasn't heard, he has announced 5 5 p.m. on August 5th.
I believe so.
August 5th, 5 p.m. And you can watch the stream for free on YouTube. But if you want to talk to him and ask him a question and kind of be in a private stream, you can pay $3.99.
I think it's cool. I think it's awesome. Get your money. I think it's a cool opportunity. There's people I'd be fine paying $4 to, ask him a question or whatever during a live stream. I think it's cool. It's not a crazy amount of money. And but for Boise State fans, the interesting thing is I think right now, I would say it probably comes down to Boise State and Michigan. He's already taken an official visit to Michigan. He's going to take an unofficial visit to Boise State. Actually not 100%. I got to check on that, but he's going to visit Boise State.
Barry Odom, heading out. Appreciate you. Rock Chalk. We appreciate Coach Odom for stopping by earlier. And
did he go to Kansas?
No, he didn't.
Oh,
and it was off the air, so I'm not sure I should say it. But let's just say he's a fan of.
Okay.
Yeah, Kansas and Missouri are big rivals. He used to be at Missouri.
Okay.
I think he got fired from Missouri, and now he's a big fan of Kansas. So
that's awesome.
We had a good chat about that once Johnny said that I was a KU grad. So he just said he likes watching the KU play. So,
nice.
But I think they're UNLV. He's a good guy. So I think that, it's gonna be fun to watch UNLV moving forward. But give a quick rundown if folks aren't familiar, Gatlin Bear, and the importance of this decision.
I mean, he is the highest rated football recruit in the state of Idaho's history. There's some platforms that have him like right around the number 35 in the country. He's a top 10 wide receiver in the country. He's the fastest football player in the country. He ran a 10-1 500-meter dash, which, if he kept on that trajectory, I mean, you're talking about Olympic speed right there. He is a game changer and he'd be the biggest recruiting get in Boise State history, and it wouldn't even be close. But the interesting note is, I mean, he is going on a mission after high school. Will not play for any college until the 2026 season. And so some school is going to be lucky enough to land him right away and then have to wait 2 years to really see what he's going to be able to do. But I think.
Why are you saying Boise State and Michigan? And also, why is it just to help Boise State out, or why wouldn't he take an official visit to Boise State? Why would it be unofficial?
I don't know if 100%. I think the Boise State does like to have people take unofficial visits, during.
He could come back for an official after he commits.
He could, and it might not be. I think there's other people where it'd be more expensive. They've got to fly across the country or whatever. Like to get him to Michigan, it's better to pay, but it'd be an easy drive. I got to double check on that.
Some small things in terms of what they can pay for and stuff.
Yeah.
They can't reimburse them for the gas
or
pay for a flight. I don't think a lot of the meals can't be paid for.
Yeah.
Boise State's getting the last.
Yeah.
They're getting the last chance to try to win them over.
They've got the last word. Which
do you think Gatlin Bear already has a decision made?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think he would go to a place not with an open mind. I think he's still and then
and why are you looking at you mentioned Boise State and Michigan as the two finals?
I think Michigan because his coach Cameron Anderson also coached Colston Loveland, who was a tight end at Gooding a couple years ago, the highest ranked kid out of Idaho 2 years ago. He went to Michigan. He started as a true freshman, caught a touchdown pass against Ohio State, was playing against TCU in the Fiesta Bowl. He's going to be one of their best playmakers this year. And I think, if I'm Gatlin looking at that, an Idaho kid going all the way to Michigan, fitting in with the offense right away, loving the coaches, that would make sense to me. But there's the Boise State part also luring him in. And so that's kind of why I think it's those two. That's no real inside info on that at all. That's just my guess. But I think both of them would make a lot of sense.
That'd be a huge get for them. So we'll keep track. Maybe we need to send you over there for the for the commitment.
I think so.
We have to look into that. It's the first weekend of football practice, so maybe we can figure something out on that. But that's going to be a big week coming up. But we got plenty more coverage. Bronco Nation News. He is Jordan Kaye. Any final thoughts on your first media days experience? You're going to go back and write about the transfers and Andy, and maybe some tack on some notes and other things that he said today about Beresford and some of that stuff. I believe Mike Prater is writing a column on Andy, correct?
said something on the defense and how much Andy likes the defense.
Yeah, and he got to pull him aside one-on-one a little bit. We all got a little bit of one-on-one time with Andy today, but I believe that Andy Avalos thinks his defense is going to be badass. And Mike Prater asked me if we could use the word badass in the column, and I said my mom may not love it, but we're probably okay using it. So
is that going to be the headline? That should be.
We probably need to put something about badass in the headline.
I think that's okay.
Probably do. I don't know. We don't want to be too much tabloid journalism or whatever, crossing any kind of line.
If I got dildo in the newspaper, we can get badass in the.
The Rocky Johnson story will go down as one of your best of all time. But I know the official stuff's wrapping up. You can see behind Jordan here, they're folding tents and things and putting away signage and putting tables back where they go. But obviously we still have a lot of work to do, a lot of writing to do. But any final thoughts on the 2 days here? And as we get ready, about little less than 2 weeks, about 10 days away or so from the first practice.
I came into this very skeptical about a lot of different aspects of Boise State football. A little bit skeptical about the offensive line, very skeptical about the defensive line, and having some question marks about the secondary. And I think I came away from it having not seen any practice or anything, but by enthusiasm and feeling really good about Boise State's defense, feeling really good about their offensive line, and feeling really good about their chances to have a pretty dang good season.
And I forget who said it, somebody on Twitter, but they said like except for the COVID year, I believe it was, or whatever, like Andy Avalos has had a good defense like every year. Like Andy Avalos, like that's what he does. He knows defense, he coaches defense. Like players leave, new players come in, and maybe we are putting a little too much stock in who's leaving, not who's coming back.
And I remember last year being, the new guy thinking, man, Ezekiel Noah, like that guy, he was okay for a couple of years, but he's going to be the anchor. And this DJ Schramm guy, I mean, he hasn't played. Like, how good is he really going to be? And so you've got all these question marks every year. And Boise State, to their credit, to Andy Avalos' credit, I mean, they've been able to squash those question marks with the depth that they have. And when guys leave, other dudes step up. And it's a huge cliche, but they've put it in action the last couple of years.
Well, it's been a lot of fun. Thank you to Taco Bell. We're going to tell you more about them moving forward. But TacoBellGivesBack.com. Check out the website. All the Treasure Valley Taco Bell stores doing a lot for the community, and we appreciate Taco Bell and their new partnership with Bronco Nation News. We got some other cool stuff with Tommy Alquist and BVA we're working on as well. So we got to pay Jordan's lofty salary over here. So thanks to our new sponsors, and go subscribe. Final push
BNN
for the
50.
day. BNN 50 is the promo code. If we get a certain number of subscribers, I got to give a big fat bonus to Jordan. So help put some money in Jordan's pocket. Subscribe. He made a big big chance coming over here to BNN. We're excited about it moving forward, what it looks like and what it means, but we need your support to make this happen. So all the cool cameras, all the cool stuff we're working on, come on over. BNN 50 is the promo code. BNN 50. It's less than $1 a week. It's $50 for a full year. You pay it once, you move on. And if the $50 is too much, $6.99 a month. Your story today on the transfer stuff, Prater's column on the defense, how badass they're going to be. They're going to be behind the paywall. So you got to subscribe, you got to pay, or you can't read this stuff moving forward. So appreciate everybody for checking us out. We will have one more show from Vegas. We are not quite done yet. We are looking forward to tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. in Boise. 11 a.m. in Boise tomorrow, the final show from Las Vegas. John Mallory and I will be live at the Sportsbook. And I believe the Cardinals have a day game tomorrow, so I'm going to be doing a quick show and getting out to the pool. But it's going to be fun. Looking forward to it. We'll have Mike Palm from Circa on with us talking about the betting odds and conference championship odds and stuff. We'll have Troy Calhoun. We'll play our Jeff Tedford stuff. We got some other stuff we taped as well. So going to be a fun show tomorrow, 11 a.m. in Boise. 11 a.m. in Boise. Final show. Make sure you join us. So thanks to all of our sponsors. Thanks to all of our subscribers. Go subscribe. We appreciate it. We hope you enjoyed the coverage. I think we're up to 11 live broadcasts in 2 days, something like that, with all the different interviews and shows and stuff. And so we got a crap ton of stuff to take down here. We'll give you one final look on the remote camera here of John Mallory as he walks by. Where's Johnny? There he goes. There he goes.
A little lower.
There he goes.
Oh.
John Mallory says, farewell.
There's Bob.
Bob Beeler making an appearance as well. So now you can see the hallway. You can see the light we were using. So a lot of great stuff. fun couple of days. We're all getting punch drunk here, I think, but we're tired and ready to move on. Or that's not the right phrase. What am I trying to say? But it's been a long couple of days, and we're going to end it right here. So hope everybody enjoyed the coverage. 10 a.m. in Vegas, 11 a.m. tomorrow. We appreciate everybody for our final broadcast. Dayton says, heck of a job. Well done. We appreciate you guys. Can't do it without you. If you don't watch the shows, if we don't get the views, we don't have the subscribers, then we don't have anything to sell to our advertisers. So thank you so much. Tell your friends. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. And we are very appreciative of everyone for their support of Bronco Nation News. So for the final time on day 2, we'll be back again tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. in Boise, the final show from the Sportsbook. Circa Sports, John Mallory and I will be back. He is Jordan Kaye. My name is BJ Rains. Go subscribe. $50. BNN 50 is the promo code. BroncoNationNews.com. The promo ends tomorrow. It's your last chance. We'll talk to you later. Bronco Nation News Live coverage. Mountain West Media Days, Las Vegas, Circa. Talk to you tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. BroncoNationNews.com.